and welcome to Sunday morning yoga at the JCC. My name is Kira. I'm the yoga coordinator here, and I'm going to be leading you through an intermediate yoga class for the next 60 minutes or so. So to begin, let's find a comfortable seat, whatever that means for you, and getting really steady through your sit bones. So feeling a really good connection with whatever it is that you're sitting on. Starting to get heavy through the sit bones, and maybe softening the gaze, closing the eyes, and taking a few minutes just to turn inward and connect with our breath this morning before we start our asana practice and physical postures. Taking a moment to stack your ribs over hips, shoulders over ribs, and then let your skull just rest softly at the top of your spinal column. Relax the jaw. Soften through the inner corners of the eyes. Relax the ears. Imagine with every breath that you're lengthening through your spine, breathing air bubbles of space between each vertebrae. And then begin to bring your breath to your deep low belly. And on the inhale, let your deep low belly fill and expand. Breathing deeply and exhaling deeply. Maybe imagine that there's a balloon inside your deep low belly. How much can you let it expand on every inhale? And then can you control how it deflates on the exhale? On your next round of breath, begin to bring that expanded balloon up into your ribs. Maybe bringing the hands to low ribs. Breathing wide, feeling the ribs flare on every inhale. Imagining that balloon getting bigger, taking up more space in your body. And then on your next inhale, bringing your attention to your collarbones, maybe bringing hands to collarbones. Trying to fill the upper lobes of your lungs with your inhale. Noticing how that feels in the body. And then trying to smooth out the transition between the deep low belly, the ribs, the upper lobes of the lungs. Letting both the quantity and the quality of each inhale and each exhale match each other. Expanding through the body as you're breathing. Letting your inhale rise so high through your spinal column that it shoots out the crown of your head maybe. Breathing beyond the body. And then can you exhale past your deep low belly down into your toes. Taking just a few more moments to connect to breath, connect to self, before we begin moving this morning. On your next inhale, bring some awareness back into your body, back into your space. Softly blink the eyes open. And let's get going with our asana practice this morning. So we're going to do a lot of twisting today. So to get nice and warmed up right off the bat, we're going to do some core work to begin with. So come to seated, bring your feet in towards your bum, roll the shoulder blades back, lift the heart, and then float the legs up. Inhale, and then exhale to expand and lengthen. And then inhale to lift. Exhale to lengthen. Inhale, heart up, knees in. Exhale, lengthen. A few more times. Linking your breath with your movement, warming up the core. Heart high, expanding through the spine. Two more. Hover for just a moment, and then exhale, relax. We're going to start with a gentle twist this morning and just warm up our outer hips. So hug your right knee into your chest, give it a little squeeze, and then cross it over to the left side of your body. Just allowing yourself to kind of relax here. We're going to work hard later on, but right now just enjoy the sensation of this opening twist. Warming up the outer hip. Noticing how your body feels this morning. Inhale, return to center. Give that leg another squeeze, and then switching legs, hug the left leg into the chest. And then on an exhale, twisting to the right. Still imagining length through the spine. And maybe sending your breath to any areas that might feel a little sticky this morning. Inhale, return to center. Hug the knees into the chest, and then roll on up, cross the ankles, step back, coming into a tabletop position. So you're going to stack your palms directly under your shoulders, hands wide, pressing equally through all four corners of your palms, firmly rooting down into the mat. And then your knees are under hips. Toes can be tucked or untucked. Yogi's choice this morning. We'll take a few rounds of cat-cow. Inhaling, drop the belly, pull the heart forward. Exhale, curl and round through cat pose. Inhale, pull the heart through. Exhale, curl and round. Think about initiating movement first from the pelvis, and then letting the spine undulate. Warming up the spine. Linking your breath with movement, maybe taking it nice and slow. Maybe moving a little bit faster than I am. But keeping collarbones drawn wide, shoulder blades draw down your back. One more round. And then inhale, come through a neutral spine. Take a moment to just elongate the spine, reach the crown of the head beyond your mat, tailbone reaching towards the back of your mat. And then tuck the toes, firmly plant your hands, and then shift your hips up and back towards the back of the room into a downward facing dog. You can pedal out through the feet here, kind of wake up your legs this morning. Thinking that spinal extension here. So you want to increase the space between the palms of your hands and the top of your tailbone, lengthening through the side body, shoulder blades drawing down your back. Increase the space between your ears and your shoulders. And then take a nice slow walk up towards the front of your mat. Hang out for just a few rounds of breath in a forward fold. You can softly bend the knees, grabbing onto opposite elbows, sway side to side, whatever feels good. And then bringing hands to hips, root down through your feet, engage through your core, and on an inhale, come on up to standing. And then from here, we'll take a few rounds of Surya Namaskar A, Sun Sal A, just to get our bodies moving this morning. So on an inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Inhale, peel up, heart towards the front of the room. Exhaling, plant the hands, step back into your plank pose. You can stay in plank or you can drop the knees if you like. And then we'll exhale to belly. Plant the tops of the feet, draw the shoulder blades back, elbows hugging towards each other. Peel the heart up into a low back bend as we get moving this morning. Exhale, return to the ground. Push back through a child's pose position. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. One inhale here, and then on your exhale, walk, step to the top of your mat. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, release. Inhale, root to rise, press through your feet to inhale, sweep the arms up, palms together at the heart. We'll do 2 more rounds like that. Inhale, sweeping arms up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, melt your heart forward. Inhale, half lift, present your heart. Exhale, plant the hands, step back. Plank pose. Take a moment to get stable through your plank pose. Push the floor away, draw the collarbones wide. Reaching tailbone towards the back of your mat. Feet are steady, like you're pushing into the floor or the wall behind you. Drop the knees. Exhale, come down to your belly. Plant the tops of your feet. Pull your shoulder blades together, elbows together. Peel your heart forward, maybe coming up a little bit further. Exhale, return to the mat. Tuck your toes, push back through child's pose. Lift the hips to downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale to the top of your mat. Inhale, half lift, present your heart. Exhale, fold. Inhale, palms meet together overhead. Exhale, the heart center. One more round, maybe speeding it up, depending on your breath. Inhale, half lift, present your heart. Exhale, step back, cycle through your vinyasa of choice, maybe slowly lowering down with control. Flip the feet, pull the elbows together, lift on up, heart peels forward. Sink back into your child's pose. Now tuck the toes, lift the hips up to downward facing dog. Exhale, step forward to the top of your mat. Inhale, half lift, present your heart. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, palms meet together at the top. Exhale, pull through palms to heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, release. And then on the next exhale, step your right leg back behind you, coming into a low lunge. Taking a moment to get really steady here. Front knee over ankle. Back leg really excited about the morning. And then pull the mat, pull your feet together as if you're trying to wrinkle the mat from under you. Feel how you get some buoyancy in your pelvis, really strong for your core. And then elongate through your spine, stable base, rise on up to your high crescent lunge. Take one inhale here. Exhale, hands frame the foot, step back to your plank pose. Inhale, exhale to the ground, peel forward, heart lifts to your back bend. And then press on back to tuck toes, child's pose, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, and on your exhale, step your right foot forward between your hands, setting up for lunge on the second side. Again, setting your foundation here, pulling the legs together energetically, feeling that buoyancy through the pelvis. And then as you're steady, rise on up. High crescent lunge. One inhale here, exhale, hands frame the foot, step forward, release. Inhale, half lift, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms out and overhead, palms meet together at the heart on an exhale. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, present your heart, and then exhale, step the right foot back this time. Get stable through your foundation, come on up, crescent pose. Taking a moment here to check in, creating space through your back foot, dropping tailbone towards the ground, maybe sinking a little bit deeper. Spine lifts, frame the foot, step back to your plank pose. Lower down, tuck the toes, pull your heart forward, ears soft. Come through child's pose, make your way to downward facing dog. Exhale, stepping left foot forward. Inhale, stepping right foot forward. Get stable. Inhale, rise up, high crescent pose. Taking a moment to check in with your pelvis on this side, creating space and length through your back foot, back leg. Exhale, hands frame the foot, step forward. Inhale, half lift, present your heart. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up, overhead. And palms meet together at the heart center. Take a few rounds of breath here. Check in with your body. Notice any shifts since we started. On your next inhale, sweep the arms out. Sit your hips back. Come on into chair pose. So in chair, you want to root down firmly through all four corners of both feet. Draw your tailbone down towards the mat. Draw your shoulder blades down and together. And then take any back bend out of the low back. Try to sink your hips further down and breathe. Inhale and exhale, turn through the belly, sweep the right arm behind you, come into a twisting chair pose. Check in with your knees, make sure that they're still in line with each other, energetically squeezing the thighs together. And then on an inhale, shift your attention into your left foot. Pick up your right foot, step it back wide, setting up for a warrior two. So you want your heel in line with your arch of your back foot. Front foot is at a 90-degree angle, knee over ankle. And check in, see if you can see the big toe of your front foot. Back leg is either parallel to the mat or at a slight angle towards the front of your mat, and then root down through the pinky side edge of your back foot. Check in with your pelvis again. Tailbone drops towards the ground. Ribs over hips. Float the arms wide into your warrior two. From here, we'll flow a few times. Inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, move from your hips to bend into your front knee. Inhale, rise. Exhale, into your warrior two. Inhale, rise. Exhale, into warrior two. And then from here, lean forward as far as you can, and then either dropping hand to the ground, a block, or maybe bringing an elbow to your thigh. Then you're going to sweep the arm in front of you. Pull your shoulder blade down your back. Spin your bicep towards your ear. And then sweep the arm overhead. Coming into extended side angle. Rooting down through the pinky side edge of your back foot. Strong, long line of energy from the back foot all the way up your right side body to your fingertips. And then on an exhale, release. We'll come through Skandasana a few times. We're going to shift our knees over our ankles. You want to keep the entire foot firmly rooted on the mat. You might be here today. That's fine, depending on your body's architecture and how open your hips are. You might be able to go a little bit deeper into this pose. You want to keep your heart lifted, core is engaged. Just bringing some nice movement into our hips this morning. You might hear a snap, crackle, pop from me. You might hear it yourself. And then we'll come to the other side of our mat, setting up for the second side. So from here, drop the back foot at a 90-degree angle, and then windmill the hands up and around, coming into warrior two on the second side. Again, check in with your front toes. You should be able to see your big toe over your knee. So you're energetically slightly pushing your knee towards the corner of your mat, rounding down through the pinky side edge of your back foot, and then spread your arms, your warrior swords. Take a few rounds of breath here. And I seem to have lost my mic. Oh, no, there it is. This gives you a few more moments in the pose, right? And then flowing. Inhale, exhale, sink into your warrior two. Inhale to rise. Exhale and sink. Inhale, exhale. And then from here, grounding down through the back foot, start to lean forward as far as you can before dropping the hand to wherever works for you today. And then if you have your hand on the ground or a block, you can push your knee into shoulder, shoulder into knee, giving you a little bit more stability in the pose. Then bring your top arm straight in front of you, plug your shoulder blade in, and then sweep the arm overhead. One long line of energy from the left side of the body. Few more rounds of breath. Exhale, release, come back through our Skandasana. Just a few times this time. And then we'll come back to standing at the opposite end of our mat to catch revolved chair on this side. So inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, sink the hips back. Tailbone draws down, low ribs in, shoulders down, and then sweep the left arm behind you, revolved chair. Check in with your knees, make sure they're in line with each other. Twisting from the deep low belly. Inhale, sweep the arms up, release. Inhale, arms up, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, present your heart, exhale, fold, step back to plank. And then lower through your vinyasa, flip the toes, peel the heart forward and up. Exhale, release. Pushing back through brief child's pose, and then float the hips up and back to downward facing dog. Exhaling, step forward, coming into a forward fold. Inhale to lift. Exhale, palms meet together at the heart. Take a few moments to check in with your breath. I'm having some technical difficulties. Notice any sensations, any shifts through your body. Notice where you can expand through the breath. As we continue to work through our twisting practice, are there places that you can take your breath to help you get a little further into the pose? Inhale, biceps out, palms forward, sweep the arms out and overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Inhale, half lift, present your heart. Exhale, release. Inhale, step the left leg back. Plant the left palm and sweep the right arm up, coming into a nice twist. Check in with your sacrum, make sure that your hips are level here. And you can energetically draw both feet together like you're wrinkling the mat underneath you. And that should lift your hips up slightly and allow you to bring your hips more into alignment. Twisting through the deep low belly. Exhale, release. And then step the foot back, come on into downward facing dog. And then step the left foot forward, planting the right palm, will twist to the other side. Exhale, palm plants, step to forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms out and around. Exhale, draw the palms to heart center. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, sink the hips back, coming into your chair pose. And then drop the left arm behind you, coming into a twist. Checking in with the knees again. And then shift the weight into your right foot. Step the left foot back. Coming into a twisting high lunge. Exhale, bring the left hand down to the mat. Coming back into our twisting lunge. And then exhale, float the arm down
Step back into plank pose, cycle through a vinyasa. Flip the palms, draw the shoulder blades down and back. Lift through the heart. Shift the hips back, coming into a child's pose. Tuck the toes, hips up, downward facing dog. And then step to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift, present your heart. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, palms to heart center. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, sink the hips back, coming into your chair pose. One round of breath here, and then sweep the right arm back. Sweep the left arm back, coming into your revolved chair. Inhale, step your right leg back, coming in to your revolved high lunge. Trying to draw your right hip forward, left hip back. Twist through your low belly, then your ribs, then your collarbones. Expanding through your arms. Inhale, and then exhale, drop down, coming into your twist. Exhale, release. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, walk the feet to the top of your mat. Inhale, present your heart. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, release. And from here, let's step our feet wide, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. You want your feet parallel with your mat, pushing down evenly through all four corners of your feet. Bring your hands to your hips. Make sure that your knees are in line with your ankles and hips are over knees. Keeping all of that in alignment, you're going to hinge at the hips. Draw your heart forward. Keep thinking crown of head towards the front of your room. Spine long, and then pause. Maybe hands come under shoulders. Take one more inhale to elongate through your spine, and then exhale to pull your heart through your legs, coming into a nice deep stretch. Pressing out through the pinky side edge of both feet. Feeling how that engages the muscles of your inner legs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, turn towards the top of your mat. So your left leg is now in front. And then step your right foot in just a little bit. Toes are at a 45-degree angle. And then from your hips, pull your hips up and back to straighten through the front leg. Maybe coming out of the pose for a second to align your hips, drawing tailbone towards the floor. Lengthen through the spine, heart high. And then exhale, hinge at the hips, lead with your heart. Maybe hands come down, maybe hands stay on the hips for today. Pull your left hip back, draw your right hip forward. Inhale to lengthen through the spine, and then exhale to drop even deeper into the pose. And then from here, keep your right fingertips on the floor. Bring your left hand to your hip. Drawing your left hip back, begin to turn through the deep low belly. And then through your ribs, and then shoulders, coming into a revolved triangle pose. Maybe your hand stays at your hip, or you can begin to bring the arm overhead. energetically draw your legs together. Press through all four corners of both feet. Get really stable through your foundation and allow your collarbones to lengthen and your wingspan to expand. Feel the energy through your arms. Exhale, release. Bend into the front leg, step your right foot back, come on into a lunge. Roll the shoulder blades down, sink the hips just a little bit. And then from your hips, lift your hips, straight leg forward fold. We'll take this breath with movement a few times, just inviting some movement into the hip, stretching out through that hamstring. And then from here, walk to center. We'll come back through our wide-legged forward fold. Taking a moment to set up your solid foundation. Feet pressing into the mat. Knees over ankles, hips over knees. Hinge forward. Spine long. Hands come under shoulders. And then from here, take your right palm directly under your face. Keep your hips exactly as they are. Maybe check in with your sacrum. And then start to roll through the deep low belly to twist towards the left. Think about drawing energy up the inseam of your pants and then shooting down the outseam. Feeling that stability through your legs and your low body. Let your wingspan expand. Inhale, release. Folding into the stretch for just a moment. Inhale, lift up. Left hand directly under face. And then again, starting to roll from the deep low belly for this nice twist. Exhale, release, and then crawl your fingertips over towards the right, coming into a low lunge on the right. Step your left foot back and in. Come on up to stand legs straight. From here, draw your right hip back, left hip forward. Tailbone towards the mat, and then hinge at the hips, lead forward. Lengthen through the spine. Hands come down. And then maybe release. Continue to press into all four corners of both feet. See if you can draw the right hip back just another millimeter as the left hip moves forward. Lengthen through the crown of the head and then fold. From here, left hand stays rooted into the ground. Bring your right hand to your hip. Draw the right hip back as you start to turn through your deep low belly. Maybe spreading your wings. Exhale, release. Bend through the front knee, draw the left leg behind you, and then take a few rounds. Open through the heart, and then lift the hips to straighten the front leg. And then from here, walk back through center, taking one final wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, bring hands to hips. Inhale, come on up to standing, and then heel toe the feet together. Feet wide, toes point out, and then sink through the hips, come into a malasana. So heels can be either on the ground or slightly raised, whatever is most comfortable for you. This pose really depends on the body architecture as well. But you want to press your thighs into your elbows into thighs, and feel the widening through your low back, through your pelvic floor. And then from here, we're just going to softly, gracefully come onto our bums and pull your heart forward, roll your shoulder blades down your back, just like at the beginning of class. And then find your sit bones, heart up, and then begin to lift your legs off the ground. Squeeze your thighs together, squeeze your legs together, and maybe begin to extend your legs. Keeping heart lifted, and maybe releasing the arms. And then inhale, release. And then from here, we're going to come onto our bellies as gracefully as possible. Pick up each foot and lengthen it long behind you. Ground down through your hip points, and then the tops of the feet pressing into the mat, and then bring your hands out wide so that your elbows are at a 90-degree angle. You come up onto fingertips. And then from here, on an inhale, pull your heart forward, coming into this wide-armed Cobra pose. Ground down through the tops of the feet and through your hip points. If you're feeling any crunchy in the low back, back off. Draw your attention to your heart space, engage through your abdominals, and try to lift through your heart rather than lifting through the low back. So from here, we can flow this a couple times. Inhale, peel heart forward and up. Head just a natural extension of the spine. And then exhale, pull the heart forward to return to the earth. And then pausing in our wide-legged cobra, wide-armed cobra, just take a look over each shoulder. And then exhale, release, come on down. From here, we're going to roll onto our backs as gracefully as possible. And set up for a variation of our bridge pose. So bring your heels in close to your bum. Take a moment to elongate through the spine. Make sure your pelvis is neutral. And then the crown of the head just slightly pressing into the back of the mat. And then your elbows also pressing into the back of the mat. Shoulder blades drawing together and down. And then cross the right leg over left. So you're in this figure four. And then from here, pull your left foot towards your butt. And then inhale, peel your heart up and back, lift your hips. Some opening through your right hip. And then strengthening through your left glute. Draw your left knee towards the front of the room. Lift your hips another inch. Inhale, exhale, release. So good, let's do the other side. Crossing left leg over right. Drawing the right heel towards the butt. pressing the back of your head and your triceps into the mat. Inhale to lift the hips. And exhale to release. We'll take the crossing the right leg over left again. This time just grab onto the back of the left thigh. Give it a nice squeeze. So you're keeping the right foot nice and active, drawing the right knee towards the front of the room to open up through your right hip. And then dropping the left foot as close to your bum as possible. Keep pushing your knee towards the end of the mat and then dropping over towards the left so that the right heel is in contact with the ground. For a nice twist through the outer hip. Keeping everything nice and active here to really get deeper into this stretch. Inhale, return through center. Switch crossing of the legs. Keeping your left foot flexed now and drawing your left knee towards the front of the room. Exhale, return the right foot as close to your bum as possible and then twist over towards the right so left foot makes contact with the ground. Keep drawing your knee energetically towards the front of the room and feel an opening through your outer hip. And then from here, come on back through center. Hug the knees into the chest, and then extend the left leg long. And we'll take that same twist that we took at the beginning of the class. So crossing the right knee over the body, keeping the right shoulder plugged into the mat as much as possible. Maybe rearranging, picking your shoulders up so that you can plug the right shoulder into the ground. Feeling a nice stretch through that outer hip. If you need more, you can straighten the right leg. You can place your hand on the mid-thigh and just give some gentle traction down and towards the left. That'll increase some sensation. Inhaling, come back through center. Give the right leg another nice squeeze and then switch. Left leg hugging in towards chest. And then taking a moment to tap the left shoulder into the mat as you twist. Trying not to pick that shoulder off the ground. If you do, you can kind of check in again. Shimmy your shoulders back down to the mat. And then whatever leg variation you need, straight leg, or finding that spot mid-thigh to give some gentle traction to get deeper into that outer hip. And then inhale, come back through center. Hug the knees into the chest, and then we'll take a few rock and rolls. So curl in tight like a little ball, and then begin to use your momentum, tight core, to roll back and forth a few times. And we'll come up to seated. We're going to take a couple more gentle twists. So the easiest way to get into this one is you're going to bend your knees, just come up to kneeling, and then swing both feet over to the left, and then you're going to sit your hips outside of your heels. So both heels are outside of the left hip, and then you're gonna draw the left foot in as close as possible. And then take a moment to elongate through the spine, root down through your sit bones, and then take a nice gentle twist, crossing the right arm towards the left knee. Think elongation through the spine and then twist. And then exhale, slowly unwind, and we'll take a counter twist. Slowly releasing. Come on up to all fours again, and then kick the legs out to the right, sit the hips back so that heels are outside of the hip. Elongate through your spine, check in with your pelvis, make sure you have a neutral pelvis. And then the left arm is going to come to the right knee. Twisting first through the belly, then the ribs, then the shoulder blades, or collarbones, excuse me. Slowly unwind on an exhale. We'll take a nice counter twist. And then from here, just simply shift over, swing the legs out in front of you so that your legs are long. And then hug the right leg into your chest. Connect both sit bones into the ground. And then you're going to bring your right arm inside of your right leg and exhaling, fold forward, and then wrap your right arm around your leg as much as possible. And then maybe bringing your left arm behind. See if you can grab hands. If you can't, just grab onto your shirt or your thigh, and then elongating through the spine, twisting to the left. And release, and then hugging your right leg, hook your left arm over, bring your right arm right behind your sit bones. And on an exhale, twisting through the deep low belly. Exhale, release. Legs out long in front of you, and then hug the left leg into the body. Bringing your left arm inside of your thigh. Stack your spine tall, lean the heart forward and reach the left arm around your leg, and then start to twist through the belly, broaden through your collarbones, and then see if you can grab your left hand, otherwise grab your shirt or your thigh. Keeping the right leg nice and active. Exhale, release. And then hugging your left leg with your right elbow. Take your left hand behind your sit bones and begin to twist to the left. Collarbones nice and wide. Heart lifted. Jaw soft. Exhaling, release, come on back to center. And then from here, we'll just extend the legs out in front of us. Take the palms to your outer hips, push down energetically about 20%. Legs are nice and active, pull your toes towards your shins. And then begin to hinge from your hip keeping your spine long, reach your heart towards your shins, maybe walking the hands down your legs, keeping your shoulder blades joined together and back. Feeling a nice stretch not only through the back of the legs, but through the entire back body. Maybe with each exhale, walking the hands a little bit further down the legs, and then beginning to soften through the cervical spine, dropping the head in. Inhale, slowly releasing, maybe using hands to return to seated. And then we're gonna slowly just come onto our backs for Savasana, our final resting pose today. If there are any other movements that you'd like to take, please go ahead and take them now. Otherwise, you can come onto your backs. Legs relax wide, arms can be wide. Just take a moment to set yourself up so that your spine is nice and long. And let go of any muscular effort that you've been using so far today. And just let this feel really nice. Savasana is a wonderful, wonderful time to observe the changes in the body, absorb the benefits of your practice, and integrate the teachings that we learn on the mat and take them out into the world with us. It's really, really important to give yourself this time to relax. And just bliss out after practice. It's probably the best pose. One of the benefits of being at home is you can stay here for as long as you like. I encourage you to at least take the time that I give you, because this is a very, very important part of practice. As you're ready, begin to bring your awareness back to the space that you're in.
Maybe listening to the sounds of your space. Enjoying the feeling of the ground beneath you. The feeling of your clothes on your body. Begin to notice your breath again. As you're ready, bringing some subtle movements back into the body, maybe wiggling through fingers or toes. On an inhale, maybe taking a luxurious full body stretch. And then rolling onto one side, coming to the fetal position. Once here, take a moment to enjoy the comfort of your own company. Feeling your breath on your arms. That breath that is always there for you, always guiding you. And then using just your arms, pushing up into a comfortable seated position. Take a moment here to thank yourself at least as much as I thank each and every one of you for very intentionally carving out this time to practice today. To practice together, apart. Turn the palms up, biceps out, sweep the arms out and up overhead, bringing palms to touch. Exhaling, bring palms to heart center or your lap. May each of you go out and be the brightest light that you can to yourselves and for others. To each of you I bow. Namaste. Om. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any questions or comments, please comment below, or you can always reach out to me on other channels as well, email, or you can DM me on Facebook. Suggestions always welcome. If you have some poses that you want to work on, please let me know and I'll add them to class next week. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.